Okay, so just very quickly, because I just started the recording, I will just say, welcome to Fix It, Don't Trash It. And this evening, we have Nick Wilbur, who works with the Southeast Area Coalition Tool Shed. And he is going to discuss with us who he is and what their organization does. So thank you very much.
Hi again. So like she said, I'm Nick Wilbur, like the pig, spelled the same. And yep, so I'm with the Southeast Area Coalition, or SEAC for short. We are a little nonprofit based in the city here. We've been around for like 50 years. And what we're now best known for essentially is our flagship program called the Tool Shed. I'm the guy who runs the Tool Shed. I'm kept in the basement pretty much all week. And it's a library essentially just for power tools. Now, because they're not books, we do ask for people to pay into it a little bit a year, just like a nominal fee, but essentially you have free access all year round to everything we have. And this is thousands of tools. This is like literally everything from the basics. If you need a new screwdriver, don't get that request a whole lot, but potentially you could, all the way up to like nail guns. I have like event kind of materials like tables, all sorts of stuff. Georgia, who you'll hear from as well, gave us some sewing machines. So if you ever, want to try it out, learn a new skill, come on over, go to SewGreen, they'll hook you up. We do workshops if you're ever interested in learning some of these things too. They're free, you do not have to be a member, but essentially the idea is we are a resource. I think the average tool is something like 12 minutes of use in its full lifetime. So if you really think about it, a lot of times, if you're going to use like, I don't know, like a compound miter saw for like that one big job, that one rental job, are you ever really going to use it again if you're not a contractor? So why would you need to buy it? Why couldn't we just all share it together, So the idea is that for every time someone comes to me for that one tool they need like one time ever, and they just return it when they're done with it, that's one less that they probably would have gone out, bought, used, shove it in the attic, never touched again. Because that is waste, right? We also have 3 of the largest landfills in the state here at home in Ontario County. So if you ever, drive by, you can kind of smell it, it's there. So if you think about it, the more that we use resources like this, the less that will, be a problem. And I think one of the things that we're really proud of is in the past 2 years, we're about to turn 2 this April. We have saved, I believe, like 10 tons of potential landfill waste just by this kind of sharing economy concept. So yeah, we're really proud of that, but I will shut up because I'd rather, hear some questions if anyone has any. That's where we always kind of get to more of the meaty details of it. But yeah, any questions at all? So we're at 1255 University. It's like right by the Culver University intersection. We're across the street from like the Price Right. That helps. Yeah.
How long can somebody borrow a tool?
So if you're really nice, I'll let you keep it for a lot longer, but don't tell anyone. So it's a week-long loan and you can redo it for a second week. But I mean, honestly, I'm a bit of a pushover. So if you need something and no one else is like waiting for it in line, just give me a shout and I'll probably help you out. We're not here to nickel and dime, we're here to be, again, a resource. I'll say that word a lot, by the way. Yeah.
In the space that you're in now, is that the largest space that we were in a different space and now this is like really big?
Well, so the space itself predated me. I think they moved in there like a month or 2 before they hired me. From what I recall, what SEAC was location-wise beforehand, what am I not? I tend to move around a little bit. I believe it was just like an office, so definitely a bigger space than we really need. Like I said, SEAC is its own organization. The Tool Shed's just one program. So we do a lot of other stuff that's not related to the subject at hand, but it is most of the square footage is the Tool Shed and my mess because I am a little disorganized.
I have a couple questions from online.
Oh, I was just about to look, yeah.
So can you talk about liability and insurance and what happens if a person injures themselves?
So any new member, you do have to sign a little bit of a waiver. I mean, I can't guarantee that you know what you're doing by any means. So if you're taking something home and you don't really know what you're doing, I can't be responsible for that. We do have insurance, but that's something that I hope never to have to use. One thing I would say is we only do electric. We don't have any gas powered tools at the tool shed due to our lease, and also again, the environmentalism kind of angle. So if you're talking about things like chainsaws, if it's electric, you're not nearly going to have the kind of power and danger as a gas one. It just doesn't have the same power. But that being said, I did once cut myself on the chainsaw and it wasn't even plugged in. So it's still possible. I do recommend that if it's something that you've never used before, ask questions. I'm moving off the side again. One of the things I do like to have is a on-hand volunteer at all times, because my background is not really in the tool use itself. So you don't want to ask me, I know nothing. But you know, it's like having 50 dads at once. You know, have a rotating volunteer base that can actually help you with whatever you're working on. And if you need even more help than that, we do, like I said, those monthly DIY classes. And they're not really like I don't like courses per se. I like to think of them more as kind of like sharing, you know, your stories, asking your questions. You go around the room. It's much more free form than a class. But yeah, all that to say, please don't hurt yourself. That's the best we can really do besides giving you the tools and giving you the knowledge. I can't, you know, go home with you and make sure you're safe.
And another from online, and actually I would ask if you could just repeat the question so that.
Oh, it's a good point.
Can hear it. Is, do you accept donations?
We do accept donations. Again, please don't bring me anything gas powered. I will take it, but I'll have to pass on it to somewhere else. I'll take pretty much anything. I won't always guarantee that I'll keep it. One of our partners in Fairport is the Tool Thrift Shop, which is a very similar kind of thing. And they have a good scrapping operation. So if I can't use it, or if I have like overflow of too many things, you know, I can send it up their way. Oh, and I would also add, if you do bring donations, please during our open hours, and if it's a lot of stuff, just, you know, give us a call ahead of time, 585-271-8665, and I'll work out some logistics for you. Is that all of them? All of our online so far. All right. Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about your DIY classes?
Yeah. So again, DIY, yes. So our classes, like I said, we do those monthly. I don't schedule them too far in advance because I like to get the feedback from people as they're leaving. I like to ask me, what would you like to see next? Our main instructor, Jim, is awesome. You honestly, you could go to like a carpentry class and ask him something about like electrical, and he'll just go off on that tangent instead. So I try and keep him contained to a subject, but sometimes he's a powerhouse of knowledge. So, you know, you just swing by and you make the class yourselves. But if you want to check those out, I do schedule them like 2-3 months in advance. Just go online to seektoolshed.org, and we have an events calendar that has those listed off. Anything else? I think we're good. Awesome. Alrighty, so
Great.
thank you.
Thank you very much. Good information for all of us. Yes. Yes. So our second speaker today is Deacon Georgia Carney, and she is going to talk about SewGreen, and then she's going to talk about the Repair Cafe. Yeah, so thank you very much.
And hello to you online as well. So SewGreen at Rochester is affiliated with SewGreen in Ithaca, which was the first one that started. And I started talking to them back in 2013 and was able to write for a major grant and get started on Arnett Boulevard in 2015. So we're committed to community first, creativity second, and sustainability, which is, you know, third, but not really third. It's through everything that we do. And we accept everything to do with sewing, knitting, crochet, embroidery, all kinds of needlework. We accept donations, and then we either reuse it in our classes, or we sell it to support our overhead, or we donate it forward into the community, especially to refugee resettlement programs. So you have people who've come to our community, they've fled a country with nothing, And to give them a sewing machine is to give them a little bit of their life back. So it's been a great journey for us since 2015. We brought today calendars of our classes. So there's classes that are $15. If you don't have $15, you take the class anyway. We have free clubs, Tuesdays crochet, Thursdays knitting. You are allowed to crochet at knitting. And then on Saturdays, you'll see 2 or 3 classes that happen usually in the afternoon. So yeah, there's a lot going on at the shop. It's open right now, Tuesday through Saturday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 11 to 5, Friday, Saturday, 10 to 4. So yeah, drop by and see what we're up to. The other thing I'm talking about today is the Repair Cafe, which we started back in 2021 out under a big tent during the pandemic. And we're affiliated with the International Repair Cafe. You can look that up online. Martine Postman started that back in 2009. And so it's 15 years old now, and she's been very generous about sharing that concept all over the world. There's 2,500 repair cafes that are part of that network. We meet the first and third Saturday of each month at 125 Caroline Street, either outside when the weather's nice or down in the parish hall. You know, you walk in the building and you'll hear us working away downstairs. And you'll see over here, if you look around to the back of the room, SewGreen over there on the left. And these guys over here, my repair cafe guys. And Lisa and I kind of work with both organizations. One thing that's exciting is we have a spring break camp coming up where we're combining forces, Repair Cafe and SewGreen, where STEAM meets cuddly creatures. So we're going to design and make cuddly creatures, and then we're going to make them do some electronic tricks. And we actually have a sample back there. This is for everybody ages 8 and up. So don't think because you're 50, you can't come and make a cuddly creature and teach electronic tricks. So I think that's about it. Questions, please. Yes.
What is the most common where is the greatest need for volunteers? So you have
Yeah, that's
And
interesting.
you can just repeat that question.
Right. So where's the greatest need? And that's volunteers for either organization, Repair Cafe or SewGreen, or you
plows and fires,
Repair Cafe? I don't know. What do y'all think?
zippers.
Well, yeah, if I had another person who could do zippers, that's huge. Yeah, lamps for you guys. Yeah, you guys, Ian and Jeff and Alan are great. Yeah, Alan, what do you think?
Say we need more people. We typically volunteers who are good with electronics, electrical stuff. But often George is the only one with the sewing machine.
Right, yeah. So if you know people who sew, that's always great. Yeah. We break our clothing a lot, right? And then when you think about, I think I tell people I probably started SewGreen because of zippers, right? Your zipper doesn't work and it's very frustrating. So if you don't have $40 to pay a tailor or you don't know how to fix it, where's that garment going? Right into the trash. Maybe just because the pole needs to be adjusted with a plier. It could be that small of a repair. So that, you know, that's a crazy part of this. But yeah, so I have my zipper doctor box back there if anyone's curious. Yeah, I'll do a lot to avoid having to tear out a zipper. But yeah.
I
Yeah.
have an online question.
Okay,
for you, so
sure.
again, if you can repeat it.
Yeah.
But how do you know what supplies to have on hand if you don't know what people will be bringing in?
How do we know what supplies to have on hand if we don't know what people are bringing in? I have like giant toolboxes, and So the guys who do the electrical and electronics, that's more difficult. Sometimes people will bring something in, get it diagnosed, and the guys will tell them where to order the part from, and then they'll come back to the next repair cafe to get that fixed, because we can't carry all those parts for, but I have a lot of sewing stuff. I have a whole box of zippers. I have a ton of threads, and so it's easier, I think, for sewing actually. But yeah, that's a good question, because it's always a guessing game, what you need. Yeah. Yes. Right. You know, I haven't added up lately. It's 10 or more lately, right? I'd say easily. Yeah, lately it's very busy. We did a lot of outreach in the summer and some in the fall. So we're a little more known than we were. Yeah. Yes,
Would it be able to repair a zipper on a boot that doesn't want to go up and down?
possibly if I can get it under my machine. That can be tricky. Yeah. But, you know, we'll look at, we're game to try anything. We'll look at it. Yeah. And you can ask ask people about what crazy repairs they've tried. There've been a couple cuckoo clocks and I don't know, some other silly things that come in, so.
That was the question, like what types of things do you repair?
Yes, so I have a list here. Electronics, bicycle, toys, clothing, home soft goods, stuffed animals, small appliances, zipper repair, furniture, sewing machines, and we do sharpen scissors. Because that is harder and harder to find anyone to do that. And we can do pinking shears too. So. Anything else? No? Well, if you brought a repair, bring them on back there and we'll take a look. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, before we break to do some repairs, I did actually have one more question, Nick, for you. So if you wouldn't mind just coming up briefly, because if you say it from back there,
Correct.
Nobody will hear you. But it is. It is. So have there been requests to build tool shed in other communities?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi there. So have there been other requests to kind of build tool libraries elsewhere? Yes and no. They have been popping up more and more. They're becoming more common. We based ours originally actually off of the one that's in Buffalo. It's been around for, I want to say it like nearly 15 years now. They're doing great, by the way. I saw him this morning. They're like ecstatic about where they're headed. Off the top of my head, they tend to kind of pop up in libraries already, pre-existing. Like even the Rochester Public Library, they have like their little library of things, I think they call it. In theory, anyone could start one if that's where the question is going. I would say, yeah, it depends on the size of the community. I'm honestly, I'm just spitballing, thinking about like what it would take, what kind of like market you would want if you wanted to start one. Just like as an example, because ours covers the 9-county Greater Rochester region. Technically, someone could come from like Dundee or something like that. Would it make sense to? Not really. Financially, they probably would save money even with the long drives, but that's not really how humans work, right? There's like the hidden cost of having to drive there and back. So I would say like every other county could use one, really, because realistically, like I'll get people from like Canisius or whatever, but it's, you know, few and far between. I would say I'd love to see one day, like, you know, a little pop-up every like, I don't know, like 30 miles, because that's the most realistic, you know. Not sure if that really answers the question, but if the person who asked that is looking to kind of get involved, call me, you know, I'll hook you up.
Great. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm amazed at how much repairing is having a comeback. And it is as we become more and more aware of our limited resources. You know, it really is the cutting edge of climate change, of sustainability. We have to use what we have. And then we have to reuse it, and then we have to figure out how to use it again. So you all are really doing amazing work, and we're grateful to have you in our communities. And we'll do what we can to have this presentation up for people to hear, so that we can spread the word. So, Cheryl, did you have anything you wanted to say? Yeah, you like perfect
Okay,
timing.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
Our next two events at the library are Thursday, March 28th, pollinators, pesticides, and Parkinson's. And then on April 2nd, energy choices in New York, all about ESCOs and community solar. So I will leave these flyers in the back. And thank you. Okay, so you can take your things to be fixed. We didn't control. And thank you to those who came on Zoom. Thank you.